welcome to Tassie's Studio. I'm Tassie, and today I'm here to show you a few things that I've been making and a few crochet projects that I've been working on for February. If you like this kind of videos, stay here with me and let's do this together. As I said before, I love February. It's the month of my birthday. It's the month that celebrates love, and this year I want to show you a few fun things that I've been making. And if you haven't been here before, welcome. If you have been here and you are back to see me, welcome back. I love spending time with you here. I love crocheting, and if you watched my last video, I said that I would like to crochet more this year, and I have been really inspired, and I have been working on a lot of different things. And this month, one of my friends, we have been making washcloths, and we made a plan to do a little small crochet along, and to crochet one and that's Mel. She comes to say hi, and I'm in my living room today, so she is going to be spending some time with us probably also. One of my friends, we've been doing this small cowl crochet along together, and we've been crocheting one washcloth a month. But this month she said that she found something else and that she absolutely loved, and she wanted to make some of them. So this is what she found. She saw on a website for MJ and she designs a lot of different crochet projects. My friend really enjoys and likes crocheting also, and she made 6 of them already. We spent some time together last week. We made a few of this with this pattern, but after I made 2 of them, I decided I wanted to make something a little bit different. So then I decided to make one with my own pattern. You know that I like to do that. I also really enjoy making this one, and I like that with this one you can actually see the color of the soap underneath. And so what I decided was that since I made this one up, it's from a stitch that I saw, and I have made, and I will be making something else with this soon to show and bring it to you. I decided that maybe you would want to make one of this also. So I am going to write the pattern up, and I will post the recipe on the description under this video, but I will also try to put the pattern on Ravelry, and it will be a free pattern for you as my Valentine's gift to you. So I hope that you enjoy. I'm going to now show you how I made this one, and I hope that you enjoy, that you like, and you can make 2 different tops. I will show you how to make this one, which is pretty simple, and then I might make a scalloped one also. I hope that you enjoy this. I hope that it's gonna be fun for you. And now I will just be showing you how I made my own little soap pouch. So to make this little soap pouch, you will need to have some cotton. I used 100% cotton. I actually used a cone that I bought a long time ago at Joann's, and I don't think that they have anymore, but any cotton yarn that you can actually get gauge with a 4.5 millimeter hook. So you also need a 4.5 millimeter crochet hook. You will need some scissors, you will need a tapestry needle, and a stitch marker. Okay, so we're gonna start by making 15 chains with the yarn, and this would be considered, I would think, a worsted heavy DK worsted weight for the yarn. And I'm going to make 15 chains with this, and when I get to the end, I'm gonna count 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 14, 15. We are going to turn around, and on the second chain from the last one, you are going to make a single crochet using just the top loop. And I'm gonna try to focus this so you can see the top loop of the chain. Okay, and we're gonna make 15 single crochets. If you don't know how to do a single crochet, I recommend that you go check. I have several videos that shows how to crochet for beginner, and I'll show you how to single crochet, how to make a chain, how to make a double crochet, half double crochet. So in this video I am not going to show in details how you make those stitches. I'm just gonna go straight to show you how to make the pouch. So we're gonna make 15 chains, and I am gonna show you to the end for this row, but then on the next step I will go to the end without showing step by step every single chain that I made or every single stitch that I made. So on the last one, you are going to make an extra single crochet here, and then we're gonna make go around, and you're gonna make 14 more single crochets on the lower loop of the first single crochet that you made, the first chain that you have made. So I am going to be picking up the tail because I prefer to do that instead of having to weave the ends later. And I'm gonna keep repeating this until I get to the end, and I will meet you here. When I get to the end, I recommend that you count to make sure that you have 30 stitches here, because we're going to make this last stitch, and we are going to make one extra stitch here in the very end. Then we are going to slip stitch on the very first single crochet that we made, and we're going to chain. It's now a good time to use the marker that I told you to mark the first chain that you made, because that's where you begin your next row. Now we are at the end of our row. You're gonna notice that the base of our pouch is turning this way, and I want to make sure that you did a single crochet in every single one of them, counting this little round one, extra one that we did. So now we are at the beginning of our row again. So we're going to slip stitch on that stitch that we had. We're going to do a chain, and we're going to put our marker here again so we know where to start the next row. So now we're going to start doing the cross this little X crochet pattern. And to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to skip one stitch and go to the next stitch, and we're going to do a double crochet here, and then I'm gonna go back to that stitch that I skipped, and I am going to do a double crochet. Okay, so now is where you need to be hyper and super vigilant to not put your stitch or skip this stitch here. If you notice, you're going to see that there is a little the leg of our stitch is right here. You are not going to put your count this as one stitch. You're going to skip this one and do a double crochet on the next one. So technically, you skip one and put on the second one, making sure that you did not count this stitch here, okay? I have made the same mistake and I ended up with way too many stitches, and I will show you a little trick to help you with that after I finish this other one. Then we're going to come back to this here that has no stitches in there, and we're going to do another double crochet crossing that, right? And what you're going to notice is that between this X and this X, we have only one stitch here, okay? So again, it would be easily mistaken for me to think that this is the one I skip and I put it next stitch here, but no, you look at the little leg on here, you skip the next, and you put your double crochet on the second one. Then we're gonna go back to this here, the one right behind the double crochet you just made, and we make another double crochet, and notice that again between this X stitch and between this X I only have one stitch. Okay, so we are going to continue, not this one, skip this, then do a double crochet right there, go back to the one near the double crochet I just made and do another double crochet there, and now I only have one stitch, one single crochet in between those two. So let's do this all the way around until we get to the end of our row, and I will meet you right back here. Now we're doing the very last cluster, and it should be that the first double crochet goes on the very last stitch that we had for this row, and the one that goes right behind it, or in front of it I should say, it's here, and we're going to take our marker, we are going to slip stitch on the first stitch, we're going to chain one, put our marker right back there on the chain. That chain does not count as a stitch, okay? And then we're going to count our clusters, and we're going to find out that we have 15 clusters. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 and 15. So we are right on track, and what we're going to do now is do a whole row of single crochets starting with the first stitch where we slip stitch, okay? And we're going to do this whole row of just single crochet all the way to the end. And I wanted to mention that on this one I only did 1 row under here of single crochet. This one I did 1 extra row of single crochet. I completely forgot on here, but that's not going to make too big of a difference. You can do another row of single crochet for the base if you want, but it's going to hardly be any difference on the size also, so it's okay to do that also. I am gonna single crochet this row, and then I'll meet you back here. Now I finished my row of just single crochet all the way around. I counted and I have 30 stitches. I'm gonna take the marker, I'm going to slip stitch on the first stitch that I made over here, and I'm gonna do a chain, put my marker, and now we are going to repeat the 2 last rows that we did, this one here and this one here, 4 more times. For the size of this soap that I have 5 repeats. And when you are done with this, then I will meet you back over here. So I have made 4 repeats, and I'm back here just to review a couple details with you, because I want to make sure that we keep attention to some of these things, just to make sure that your pouch ends up in the right size and that everything matches. So the first thing is to make sure that you know that this first chain, it's just a chain to make your next stitch a little bit taller, to make sure that you put your stitch on the very first stitch, not on this here. It's actually the chain. So this is our single crochet row. And then we take the marker out. The marker was on the chain, and we're gonna slip stitch on the very first stitch. We're gonna chain, put our marker back, and this is gonna be our last row of those clusters. So just to remind you that we are going to count this as the stitch that we go back to, and this next stitch is the one that it's the second stitch that we're going to do our first double crochet. Then we're gonna come back here and put our stitch there, and we have the clusters, and we're gonna continue to do this until we get to the end, and we're going to do 1 more row of single crochet, and then I will come back when this is done to show you how we make this, to put the little ribbon or I-cord if you want to make one. Now, because I forgot to do a second row of single crochet down here for this one, I did an extra row of single crochet. So you can do either way. You can put 2 rows of single crochet when you first start, which would be my preference, because then it makes a stronger base, I think. But I just completely spaced out, so to have the same exact measurements, I did 1 extra row here. And now we are going to do the eyelets, so we can have a place to put our I-cord. I'm going to take the marker, I'm going to slip stitch on that first stitch, do my I actually am going to do 3 chains here, and then I'm going to skip 1 single crochet, and I'm going to do a half double crochet on the next stitch. Then I'm going to chain 1, skip 1, do a half double crochet on the next stitch, chain 1, skip 1, half double crochet, and we're gonna do this to the end of this row. Now when we get to the end of this row, we are going to slip stitch on the second chain from the first 3 chains that we had. We're going to chain 1, and we're going to do a single crochet on this space and a single crochet on top of the half double crochet, a single crochet on this space and a single crochet on top of this half double crochet. We're gonna do this to the end of this row, and I will meet you back here. I finished this row of just single crochet, and I slip stitch on the very last stitch. I'm doing a chain. I'm going to do 2 double crochets on the first stitch, and then I'm going to skip 1 stitch and do 2 double crochets on the next stitch. So on the very same stitch I did 2 double crochets. So this also in some ways resemble this stitch over here, and I think that it looks really cute with this pattern. So we're going to skip 1, and on the next stitch we do 2 double crochets. Okay, we're gonna do this and keep repeating this until we do the very last stitch, and I'll meet you when I get to that very last stitch. Now we're gonna do the very last 2 stitches over here, and I am going to show you how we're going to finish this. And we're gonna make the I-cord, and I am going to put a slip stitch on the very last stitch. I'm gonna cut the yarn, and I'm actually gonna show you a different finish that I learned that it looks a lot more well finished. We just go from the back, and you put you turn your work, go from the back, pick up this stitch, and pull back here, and then from this top over here, you can also use a needle, but I just use my crochet hook. You can pull that and see how well finished it is. Then you just have to go back over here and finish as you would with a slip knot, and then you can weave the ends. And I'm gonna weave the ends later because the sake of time I want to show you now how to make the I-cord. I use a little bit thinner yarn here. It's just a cotton yarn that I had with me, and I take about 1 meter of yarn for this. I did just do a little knot on my I-cords, and did a knot here for, I think that it's already really cute with just that. So there are several tutorials that show you how to make this little I-cord. I'm gonna show you how I do it. I take about 1 meter of a tail, of a yarn that it's a little bit thinner than the yarn that I worked with this, or the same weight would be okay also. It doesn't make too big of a difference. You make a slip knot. Now we put this over, and with this yarn you're gonna pull through both. The first one is a little bit tighter. Oh, I tied too much, so good lesson for you to see that you shouldn't tighten too much, because otherwise it's very hard to make the first one. Then you put it over again and pull both of them. Pull over and pull both of them. You put this over, pull both of them, over, both of them, over, both of them. Again, I'm gonna put it really close here. Let me make sure this is gonna be in focus. I'm gonna take this out so it focus on, and remember to keep the tail on your thumb, okay? Over, hold it, and pull both of them. Over, and pull both of them. So you get the yarn that is on the tail, that it was on your thumb. You put over the needle, and you pick up this yarn here, and you put through both of them. Over, through both of them. Over, through both of them. When I'm done, when the tail is done, then my I-cord will be done, and I'll come and show you how I put it in the pouch and how it's finished. So now that this is done, I weaved in the ends, because in the end we have to do a we do a knot, tie a knot, and just so now I'm going to put this through the little eyelet row that we made. And then you can cinch that and put a little knot. If you want, you can maybe do a little I have to finish cutting this. You can do maybe a little bow, but I think it's going to be really tiny and not have a with the size that I made, but you can do that also if you want. But I prefer to just have the two little knots and put the soap inside. And this is such a cute little pouch for you to make for Valentine's. I hope that you had fun. I'm so glad that my friend Tammy came and spent an afternoon together with me. Thank you for always inspiring me and doing things together. Friends are just the best. I hope that this is going to inspire you, that you make many of them or one of them for you or for a friend or to give as a gift. And I hope that you have a wonderful Valentine's Day. I hope that the month of February is filled with love and that you enjoy every minute. Until then, I hope that you keep knitting, crocheting, and doing what makes you happy. If you like this kind of videos, don't forget to give a thumbs up, subscribe, and do the YouTube thing. Thank you for being here, friends, and I will see you soon. Until I see you again, ciao!